I had a really unique childhood. I grew up as the son of an archaeologist. My father went and excavated in Israel every year in a small area called Caesarea Maritima. It was unique in many ways, but it was a wonderful way to learn about people. If you think and imagine this, you have someone who has convinced college students to take their summer off, fly to Israel, work in 120 degrees of heat as a volunteer for work that you couldn't pay people to do in the United States. So you can't work the same way, but it gave me lots of lessons about exactly how you work with people. One of the first that I had and that I was given was the idea of a service mindset. My father would come out and recognize that these 150 people had paid their own way over there to do something exciting. And therefore, he always saw himself and taught us to sit down and say, how are you serving them? Are you serving them well? And I can still remember the day he sat me down and I was frustrated because someone wasn't doing something or wasn't supposed to be doing something. And I didn't want to go and wash the pottery, which was not a lot of fun, but something you had to do to get it clean, see what it was. And what was really interesting was he sat me down and he said, how are you serving? I'm like, I don't understand it. You're here in a beautiful place with great people and you're not serving. I felt ashamed. I went and I washed pottery and had a good time laughing and joking and just being quiet with people. What's the most underutilized success multiplier? Shifting your mindset from what is it for me to what can I give? Top performers prioritizing adding value for others or extracting value from themselves, where success compounds through cultivating generosity. Each opportunity you approach with a taker mentality neglects the most important question. Every interaction where you fail to prioritize the other party's needs compromises your integrity and influence. While you chase self-interest, those who lead with generosity attract exponential leadership returns. At the highest level of performance, the different characteristics isn't specialized skills or knowledge. It's a willingness to proactively lend additional forces where required. Rather than reactively waiting for explicit instructions or tasks, they understand and observe and can support the needs and course correct in everything in their area. Their mindsets fundamentally shift from what's in it for me to what can I give, what reads as positive feedback loops. By making themselves continuously helpful and letting go of ego, generating persistent demand and dependency. This intentionally generates a catalyst of growth that everyone they touch is open and progressive to greater responsibility and impact. True leaders don't hoard agency, they redirect it. Whether it's the highest return on opportunities raised or not, it certainly is one of those things that gives us the ability to really drive back and create great groups of people in a service organization. So how do you develop this service mindset? Again, it is just recognizing that all of the opportunities before you speak. How am I serving? Is this serving my customer? Is this serving my team? Is this serving my people well? Each one of those service areas creates us, pushes us to be better. Just asking that simple question, how can I serve, gives you the ability to really ask the right question, understand what they need, and truly create a better way of working with people. So start asking that question. Every time you walk in to a meeting, every time you open up that Zoom, ask that question, how can I serve? How am I serving these people? If you're on a question about what to do, how is this serving them best? How do I make this better? All of those are really interesting questions that create a fascinating way of being in service. It will change the way you look at things, it will change the way you look at people, and it will change the way people look at you. And you don't necessarily have to ask that question unless you want to train your team. And if you're training your team that way, the ownership and service that comes above that makes everyone a better person. I've been blessed to have a team that is very much looking at how we can do it better and how we serve. And they feel safe that if they make a mistake, it's all my fault. This is an interesting mindset and very unique to a lot of people in certain areas and very ununique in others, especially those that have had problems and companies that have issues with lots of firing and lots of blame culture. But as soon as you move off the blame culture and you take that sort of service mentality and serving everyone, not just your customer, but your people, you start to see it all over. So I'm interested. In the comments below, tell me where else you've seen that service culture. Where is the best example of that? I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you later.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Want to transform your business with expert strategies? Schedule your strategy session today by clicking the link in the description below. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gain. See you in the next video.